Hey guys, welcome to the bonus part of the first class. So what we're going to focus on here is we are going to be focusing on adding some dialogue, which will allow you to add different kinds of gameplay mechanics. Like I said, what students like to do with this one is they like to include these as guides, so to tell the players what they need to do, and a lot of them like to add two of them, so one telling the truth and one telling lies, just to put your friends through a bit more of a hell. So how do we do this? So how we do this is, and I'll show you two different ways of doing this. Go to your part that you want to add the dialogue to. So I'm just going to do this with the testing part here, and then I'll show you how to do this with like an actual statue. So go to the test, go to the plus icon, click the plus icon, and I would like you to add this one here. It's called dialogue, and it has a little speech bubble here. So dialogue, click that. Okay, and you should see that inside there now. So you've got script and dialogue inside the same part together. Do not put your dialogue inside the script because that will then not work. So you have to put these inside the part that you want because we'll be using this inside the script. So click on the plus icon, go down to dialogue, and then we got it there. Now, inside the script, inside your code, there's going to be two things that we're going to do here. The first thing is we need to create another variable, and this is going to hold our message. So if you remember how to make variables before, we need local to keep it inside the script. We need the name of the variable, the name of the memory card, and we should always call this what it's doing. So for example, I'm just going to call this one here message because that's what it is. It's doing a message. Your code should read like a story, even if you're like your mom and dad, they look at your code, they should understand what different parts are doing. So please do not just call your code M. I don't know what that is. And it'll be a lot harder if you need to ask for help from anybody, okay? So please be very accurate with your naming. Tell me exactly what is going on here. The next thing that we need is, you can probably guess, we need the math symbol up here. So we need is a. And then, now this is the important bit, and we've not done this bit in the last class. To print out a message, what you have to do is you have to add the speech marks. Now the speech marks is called a string, okay? Now what's going to happen here is inside these speech marks, we can now print out the message. Speech marks is essentially for anything that is predefined in the coding. It already has an existing name. I'll show you another example of this in a sec. So I want to say walk across, walk into the lava and see how it feels. Yeah, please be a bit more creative than your messages, but please have fun with this. You're going to send your friends through this, and I'm sure they will have a great time reading these messages from you. Right, now, we've got the message. What do we want to do with it? So in your code, what we're going to do here is we need the bridge, because this is where everything is living. So we want to say bridge. Now, what we have to do here is, because bridge holds all of them, because bridge holds all of our information, what we want to do here is we want to say dot, and we can now go and get our dialogue from this, okay? Because bridge holds everything. It holds a script and it holds everything else that's put inside it, not just the properties. So I want to say bridge dot dialogue, and we can see it popping up here, okay? Now, the dialogue, there's something inside here that we want. So if you click on dialogue, you can actually see the properties of the dialogue. And the thing that we want is this thing here, the initial prompt, okay? So I want to say dialogue dot initial prompt. And what this will then do is this will have a question mark over it. You click on the question mark and then it can show the message. So we've said, go to the bridge, go to the dialogue, go to the initial prompt inside the dialogue. And now what do we want the initial prompt to be? So we will say, and remember, you're not doing this manually. You can do this manually, but your challenge today is to do this all with the code. Initial prompt is a, so equals message. That's it. You could, if you wanted to, just write the message here. Write Oh, I can't spell, so please don't judge. Ugh, I really can't spell today. You could just write it there like that. However, it's a lot easier if you do it like this. And the reason why is if you ever want to change the message, you don't then have to go through all of your code and change the message in loads of different places. You have the message in one place, right at the top of your code, and then you can change this to something else, anything that you want. It's a lot easier if you just leave this at the top, create variables telling us what it's doing, and then use those variables in the actual code itself. Okay. Now, there's one other thing that I want to show you, and I forgot to show you this in the last class. Inside the properties here, and this is just a bonus thing. Let's say, for example, you wanted to change the material. So you wanted to change it from plastic to something else. How would you do that? If you would say bridge dot material equals, and then I'm going to say mud, for example. Like that. That red underline, what Lua is telling me, and if you leave your mouse over it, it's saying unknown global mud. It doesn't know what mud is, because if you write it like this, Lua will think, Roblox will think it is a memory card, one of your variables. So it's looking around for your variables, and it's getting very, very confused, and it's saying, I don't know what mud is, I can't find it. So if you want to change something with a drop-down menu, like with material, what you have to do is you have to surround it in speech marks, like that. Now, the other thing that you have to do is, Lua is very, very strict on capital letters. So this is why I was saying, have a look in the properties for how it is spelt. You have to spell it exactly the same. So this will not work. This will, because it has a capital letter here and it has a capital letter here as well. So if you want to change any of the material as well, this is how you have to do it. Okay. Now, you probably just don't want to be sticking it inside the parts here, because that'll be a little bit boring. So what we can do is we can also add this to meshes. Please do not add this to models. It's harder to work with, but we can do this with meshes because they're like statues. So go to your toolbox on the left-hand side, click where it says models, and please select meshes. Now, let us grab just something nice and simple. Let's grab Pokemon to act as our little guide. So I will grab Flareon. And Flareon's a little bit big, so I'm going to scale him down a bit. I've got a squashed Flareon. Let's grab you over here, just because I'm just going to test this. Let's spin this around just so we can see you. Yeah, definitely squashed. Right, but play around with this in your own, okay? Oh, wow, okay. Right, okay, so what you're now going to do is let us click on this, go to your Explorer, find what you've brought in. So in this case, I am looking for Flareon. Good. Next thing we're going to do is I'm going to click on Flareon, and I'm going to add a script. Get rid of that, and I'm also going to add a dialogue. Okay, and now we're just going to do exactly the same thing here. So inside my Flareon scripts, I'm going to grab all the information about Flareon. So I'm going to create a memory card for this, a variable. So I need to say local, and then I'm just going to call this one Pokemon. Pokemon, good. Equals, so Pokemon is and then script dot parent. Grab all the information about what's holding this, so everything inside this. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create my message. So local message, and this is why we use the local keyword as well. It means that I can now call all of my messages message, and it's not going to interfere with anything else in my program. It's a lot easier using the local keyword. Hi there. Nice and simple. Please put something more creative in there, but yeah, anyway. And then we got Pokemon dot, we want dialogue, then go into the dialogue and find the initial prompts And let's have the equal to message like that. And let's see if that works, because we've got to playtest things. So we'll play here. And there we have it. That's not bad, actually. Brilliant. Right. That is your challenge here. So add obstacles to it, change it with the code, no manual changing unless it's to do with scaling, and then add in some guides for your players and just have some fun with it. Okay. Right. Then I will see you in the next video. Enjoy the rest of your day.